Hi there. This is Gina Bennett. I am going to talk about cohesion today. Cohesion is what builds trust, where people listen, have loyalty, togetherness, and they become one entity rather than individuals in a group. I'd like to share an anecdote about being a musician. I thought I would choose a different topic rather than my current work situation and talk about the group that I was in as a child and young adult, beginning at age 11 and until I was in my 20s as a musician. This group was first formed by a professional dancer who had 4 sons who played musical instruments. It was called Firehouse 5+1. I had played the piano, so I was individually skilled, and then I was given a string bass in the 6th grade, and because I could read bass clef and I was tall, the orchestra teacher said, I could take it home and learn it. This really changed my life because I was then a part of the group that grew into a competitive stage band with 14 boys and 1 other girl. We played for dances, cotillions, wedding receptions, and we got paid. My mother was very good and supportive to take me to the group, and I became a part of. I can see that these 3 training styles with personality, the skills-based training and the activity-based training, played out in the Windjammers, which is what they called the larger band. We also had a combo that met on Tuesday nights. I met with this group for 8 years at least, every Monday night, the big group, and then Tuesday night, the combo, and then took music lessons on 2 instruments the other 2 days after school, and maintained a B average at school. My personality was such that I was suited to the bass because it wasn't stressful like my sister's violin playing, although I had started with violin at age 7 also. When you play a musical instrument, you learn a language. You learn to read music, which is also a language. And you're a person with a neurodivergent brain like me that has ADHD, could focus on the music, and it gave me stability. And I was permitted to move about as long as I stood and held my bass and plucked the strings. The personalities of all the different kids ranged from people that were wealthy who lived on the hill, and people that were less wealthy that came from East LA or Watts, and other people who did not go to our high school or our junior high. We were very diverse, but yet the common goal was to learn the music and compete. The director got us a leader that played in the Los Angeles Philharmonic, bass trombone, and then after that person left, we had a new leader that was a professional percussionist teaching at Cal State University Northridge, and he drove down to our town, San Pedro, to rehearse us once a week. We also had team building in the form of fun trips to Catalina Island, to the beach, riding on people's motorcycles, and working together on the weekends when our parents would give us a project like weeding the hill in the ice plant. So we did things together, and we became friends. But there was a cost to this because as a teenage girl, I was always with the band and gigs on weekends and not able to travel to Palm Springs with the other girls or go to girly sleepovers and, do the things that girls do. So I grew up a little differently that way. The skills-based training part of the Windjammers included, of course, our individual music lessons and side rehearsals that we would have if we needed to work on a part that was difficult. I think that those are called sectionals in orchestras, and I was also in several different orchestras throughout that time period. Activity-based training, I think, was played out in also going to the competitions because we had to select certain songs, make a tape, submit the tape with the sheet music that accompanied it, be accepted to go to the first performance that was usually at a community college somewhere in the Los Angeles basin. And if we made the cut to the next level, that would bring us to compete to play in the Battle of the Bands at the Hollywood Bowl. These activities really made us cohesive. We really grouped together because we worked hard and we wanted to win, and we did. When I think I was 16 years old, and most of the people were 2 or 3 years older than me, we won the Hollywood Bowl Battle of the Bands, first place. There I met Henry Mancini and several other musicians, one of whom composed the music for the film The Firm, and another one composed the score to the SpongeBob cartoon later in life. We felt special. Since I was younger, I and one other person was still in junior high when the rest of them went to high school. And then I had 1 year in high school when the rest of them went to college. But we were definitely a cohesive group with team building, teamwork, and it did not come naturally except for our natural talent. And one of the things that I remember talking about in high school was defending that group was just talent, but it wasn't. Practice, practice, practice is a truth story. And giving up other things in order to be part of the group and bring your best to the group was definitely part of that commitment. The willingness to listen, to follow the rules, to build skill individually and then corporately, to understand the unspoken cues when you're playing in the orchestra or a band or an ensemble of any kind, and to give up other things in life in order to be part of the group. Thank you for listening. I look forward to your comments.